Well, today I'm going to talk about speaking part 1, part 2 and part 3. And after that we will discuss part 2 in detail. So here Mr. Umair Qureshi is there. He will also guide you about speaking part 2 in detail. Now let's talk about speaking part 1, 2 and 3. In fact, as far as speaking test is concerned, it's a 3-part test. First one is all about you. It's your introduction. As the second one is concerned, and we will talk about it in detail, and Sir Umair Qureshi is going to tell us about that. Sir Umair Qureshi, can you tell me what actually speaking part 2 is and how many minutes a student need to speak in that part, and what kind of vocabulary word he need to keep in his mind, and how many adverbs, linking word, and what do you know about the assessment criteria? Please tell us in detail about speaking part 2.
Thank you very much for giving me a golden opportunity to speak with you. Today I will let you know about Q card basically. Q card assessment, basically I will let you know first of all. When it comes to the assessment and the criteria of the British Council, basically there are 4 components that the examiner keeps in mind when he or she evaluates you. What are those? Let's see. The first one is called GRA. It means grammatical range and accuracy. This is what the examiner needs from the candidate. The next one is CC, coherency and cohesion. The third one is pronunciation. The fourth one is LR. LR means lexical resources. So GRA means grammatical range and accuracy. For example, if the student is speaking and his grammar is broken or the structure of sentence is broken, the examiner will deduct his or her bands. So this is the criteria. The next one is coherency and cohesion. It means from where you're going to start and from where you're going to end it. If it has no sequence or it has no order, the examiner will deduct your bands. So it should be according to the criteria of the British Council, otherwise you can't meet your desired bands. The third one, the most important, pronunciation. Most of the people, most of the candidate, they take it very lenient and they take it for granted that they think that this is not that much important. So for example, if the word is mispronounced, the examiner will show you an artificial smile basically, but actually you are mispronouncing it. So that would be considered your mistake. And the last one is LR, the lexical resources. Lexical resources mean it's a bunch of vocabulary words, adverbs, binomial pairs, idiomatic expression, and the words which aren't very much common. So all these are the basic things that you have to include in your speaking. As far as Mr. Fahim was asking to me about the Q card topic, it lasts for 2 minutes only. Okay, 1 minute is for brainstorming, for pondering that what the topic you have given, and you can think about this topic for 1 minute and you can speak for 2 minutes. Now sir, yes please.
Sir, what do you think why this part is very much important?
Yeah, this is basically a soul of the speaking. Until and unless you don't cover this topic, you cannot get the desired bands. Basically it consists of 6 bands, and introductory part has 1 band, and the follow-up session has 2 bands. Total it the 9 bands. So it has 6 bands, so that is why it is very much important. Yes, right. Next question.
Okay, sir, if any student who does not know about the Q card, so at that moment what he or she should need to do at that time?
Yeah, well, it depends. That if a student doesn't know anything about the Q card, he will be given 1 minute. So in the 1 minute he should have to plan it, and when whatever comes his mind he should have to throw it. Otherwise, if he will stay silent, he cannot achieve the desired bands. Yes. So whatever comes in mind, do speak.
Fine. Okay, if a student he does not know what is the actual pronunciation of any word, for instance, normally people of our country, they pronounce career, right? The actual one, you know about that, it's a career.
Yes.
So at that time, if he forgot that how to pronounce it in a good way, and instantly he recalls things in his mind once he watched that movie and he heard in that movie how this word should be pronounced. Should he correct at that time himself?
Yes. You have raised a very pertinent question that, for example, if his candidate is in the examination hall and he doesn't know the actual pronunciation, but he it comes in the mind later on, so he can rectify it by himself or herself. So slip of tongue is, we all are human beings, it's possible, but if he or she correct it by himself or herself, that's perfectly fine. It won't be considered a mistake. For example, the actual pronunciation of the word is, just imagine debris, and I read it debris. Okay, so I corrected it myself, so it's perfectly fine.
Right. Okay, sir, if while speaking, student forgets any point, do you think that he should use fillers?
Yes, obviously. Fillers means that he should, annex his speech, his talk with fillers. For example, moreover, furthermore, subsequently, to recapitulate, such kind of words. For example, if he is speaking, so he should start like that. Thank you very much for giving me such a ravishing topic to me. This could be the starter, and in the end, he can use that to put everything into a nutshell. So these all are the words that it shows that you are starting and you are ending in a way. So then you can meet the coherence and cohesion. Yes.
Right. Okay, can you guide me that how many words he needs to keep in his mind when he is going to talk about any topic in 2 minutes? Should he keep 15 lines complete, 2 paragraphs in his mind? Because as you know, this is the most important part.
Yes, thank you very much. You have asked a very valuable question to me. Basically, it's all depends upon the examiner. It's a discretion of the examiner. That examiner, in which mood the examiner is she. For example, she asks you a question and you are speaking like an essay. So he or she will get irritated. So depends upon the topic and depends upon the examiner's nature, that if the examiner is asking a question to you in follow-up session, there is no need to go for more than 4 lines. Okay, but when it comes to this cue card session, basically you have to speak for 2 minutes, but the examiner can stop you within 1 minute and 30 seconds, within 1 minute and 40 seconds. So it's his discretion and prerogative.
Okay, sometimes students memorize few sentences. Should they utter such type of sentences in their actual exam?
To be super honest, I don't recommend, the pat phrases. I don't recommend the memorized lines. The examiner can judge you, literally, that at what level you are falling. Until and unless you have the memorized answer, you can speak well. But wherever your memorized words are finished, then you are blank.
Right, you are exposed, you mean?
Yes, it means you will get exposed, that you don't have that much.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so today we have talked about speaking part 2 in detail. I hope so that with these useful tips and techniques, most of the students, they will definitely get their desired band, whether you're looking for 8 band, 9 band. I hope so these things will help you out. So at the end, I'm going to ask the last question about speaking part 2. Sir, when examiner interrupt, sometime after 1 minute, sometime after 1.5 minutes.
Yes.
At that time, should student complete his or her sentence or need to stop instantly there?
I would humbly say that the candidate should stop at first, because you are at the disposal of the examiner. As soon as the examiner stops you, you have to stop promptly. There is no need to go and you have to complete your sentence. For example, your sentence is it's a complex structure of sentence and you are trying to complete it. Okay, so don't you think it would take a lot of time? So because you are at the disposal of the examiner, so as soon as the examiner stop you, you have to stop instantaneously.
That's very good.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir, Umair Qureshi, you guided things about speaking part in detail. That's a very, very valuable words. So I really appreciate, hopefully that whosoever is going to watch that video, all these tips and techniques is going to be very, very helpful for them. Thank you very much.
Stay blessed.